Hello everyone, my name is Suraj and I'll be giving you a brief introduction about Saltstack. Besides explaining the architecture, I'll be helping you set up the Salt Master and Salt Minions, and I'll also show some of the basic commands in Saltstack. So let's get started. So what is Saltstack? It is mainly a configuration management and orchestration tool. You can perform remote execution and push configurations to multiple minions. Saltstack is written in Python and it uses 0MQ to communicate with Salt Minions. 0MQ is nothing but an asynchronous messaging library that is used in distributed applications to mainly pass data or commands to minions. So let's take a look at the architecture of Saltstack. As you can see in our example here, we have Salt Master and 4 Salt minions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have grouped minions 1 and 2 together, whereas 3 and 4 belong to a separate group. So in Salt Master, you can see a component called as pillar. Pillar mainly stores sensitive data like file paths, configuration parameters, passwords, AES keys, etc. Grains contain starting information about a minion, like the operating system it is running on, domain name, IP addresses, kernel, etc. Default.sls and sample.sls are called salt state files. These files are used to push configurations or commands to the salt minions. So this is how the whole architecture works. Once the salt master and salt minions are set up, the minion sends a connection or key request to the master. The master can then communicate with the salt minion only after the keys are accepted by the master. So once this is done, the salt files are used to push pre-written configurations to the minions. Salt master can perform remote execution on these minions, as you will see in the upcoming session. So let's set up salt master and salt minion right now. I have created 3 VMs in total. One of them is Salt Master, and 2 of them are Salt Minions, Minion 01 and 02. And you can see the IP addresses associated with them. Okay, so let's install Salt Master. All you have to do is sudo apt get install Salt Master. So you can see that the Salt Master has already been installed on this. So by default, Salt Master will be available on all the interfaces on your machine. So if your machine has, let's say, 3 network interface cards, so Salt Master will be available to the Salt minions via all these 3 IP addresses. If you want to limit Salt Master to one particular interface, all you have to do is open the configuration file of Salt Master. So you have to do sudo vim /etc/salt/master. Once you open this, in this section, you can see that the interface part which points to 0.0.0.0, which says it can be accessed via all the ports. So, oops, sorry. So you have to just change the interface here to the IP address or the network interface card through which the salt master should be accessible. So the IP address of one of the interfaces is 192.168.0.59. So let's do that. 0.59. Let's save this. And in order for the configuration to reflect on Saltmaster, you have to restart the service. So you can do that using sudo service saltmaster restart. All right, so the saltmaster must have restarted. Let's check its status. Okay, you can see that the saltmaster is currently running. Let's go and set up the salt minions. So let's install salt minion. I'll be showing the installation steps on minion 1. You can use the same steps on multiple minions if you have. So all you have to do is sudo apt get install salt minion. So install salt minion on your machine. So once this is done, how do minions know the existence of a salt master in the network? So let's open the configuration file for this, which is going to be at /etc/salt/minion. Okay, once you open this, you can see this section here. This mainly says that salt minions will try to send a connection request to host name called as salt by default. So let's try to ping salt. Let's ping salt. So here it says that it's not able to resolve the host name to an IP address. So in order to solve this, let's open /etc/host file, and we can map the host name salt to our salt master. So the IP address of our salt master is going to be 192.168.0.59, and then let's give the host name for it as salt. Let's save this. And let's try to ping salt again. As you can see, we can ping the host name salt or our salt master in the network. So let's restart the minion. Oh, sorry. So you have to do sudo service salt minion restart. Okay, so let's check its status again after it has restarted. Okay, so it is running right now. So salt minion send connection request using hostname found in /etc/salt/minion ID. So let's check what that is. So let's open that salt/minion ID. So in this file, you can see that this is the salt. This is the salt minion name, which will be sent to the salt master. This is an editable file, so this can be any name. You can give any name here. Uh, this is usually the host name of the system. So for example, the host name of our VM here is salt minion 01, and which is the same as the minion ID. So by default, when the salt minion is set up, it uses the host name of the system as its minion ID. So with this, the salt minion should be installed, configured, and it should be good to go. Okay, let's jump to the salt master. So Saltstack uses AES encryption to communicate between master and minions. After a minion's connection request is accepted by the master creates a public-private key pairs unique to that minion, and then copies or recipes the public key to the minion. Salt minion then uses the public key to encrypt the or decrypt the traffic, and the salt master uses the private key to do the same. So this way, the communication is completely encrypted and it is secure. So these keys are stored in the pillar component in the salt master. Since we have set up the minions, they must be sending connection requests already to the sort master. So let's list all the keys or all the incoming connection key requests to the salt master. So in order to do that, you have to do sudo salt key -l. So here you can see 4 sections. As the name implies, accepted keys are where the minions are connected. Denied keys where you can deny some of the incoming connections. Unaccepted keys have all the incoming key requests from the minions, and rejected keys are where you can block list or some of the minions or keys which you don't want to be connected to the network. So in order to accept a key, all you have to do is salt key -small a, and you can give the minion's name. So let's give salt minion 01. If you so you can see that it's going to ask you whether to accept the key or not. So for now, let's reject it. So let's say small n, and let's use the keys. Okay, so as you can see, the key is still not accepted. So there are multiple ways to accept a key. So salt also uses reject. So if you do salt minion star, it's going to be accepting connection requests from both the minions. Or let's say you can do a list format where you can say -a salt minion 01, comma salt minion 02, and even that is going to be accepting both the minions. Okay, so let's in order to accept all the keys, you can do sudo salt key -A. So even this is going to request all the incoming minion requests mainly. So let's accept all these requests for now. So here you can see that both the connection requests were accepted. So now let's list the key. So okay, after we accept, we can see that both the keys have been placed under the accepted keys section. In order to delete a key, all you have to do is sudo sort key -t, and you can use the same list format or the regex format. So let's delete using regex. Okay, so it's going to say, okay, you're going to be deleting these keys. So let's delete them. Press Y. Okay, so both these keys are deleted. So let's list the keys. So now you can see that both, even though our minutes have been set up, both these keys still don't show up in the unaccepted keys after we have deleted them. So if you want the minions to join the Saltstack network, so all you have to do is restart the minions again. So let's restart it. Sudo service salt minion restart. Let's do the same on our minion 2 as well. And then let's jump back to our master node and let's clear this out. And let's check if we are getting a key request from our minions again after restarting it. So when we list the keys, you can see that both the minions have their key requests again in the unaccepted key section. So let's accept these keys for now. Dash A. Yes. And then let's list it again in order to be sure. Okay, so we have not now accepted both the key requests from our minions. So with this, we have set up both the sort master and minions, and this ends part one of the introduction to Saltstack. In part two, I'll be discussing how remote execution on salt minions work and some of the most commonly used modules in Saltstack. Thank you.